What is up YouTube, and welcome to this Justice League movie video. So previously I brought you a video discussing just how Superman will actually return in the Justice League. So before we get into it, if you're new to the channel, a like and a subscribe is super appreciated. It keeps me going, and of course, you know what, it lets me know what content you lovely subscribers actually like and what you want to see more of. So if you want to see more Justice League content, let me know in the comments below. If you want to see me do a Mr. Robot video as well, drop me a line and let me know as well. So, Superman returning. So, obviously, a couple of weeks ago, it was actually leaked in a description of a cap that we will be getting, seemingly the black suit version of Superman. And we will be getting, similarly, the same sort of revival that we got over in the Death and Return of Superman story arc that we got in the comics. If you're unaware of that, if you're not really a big kind of comic book guy and you just like the movies, that's fair enough. Everyone likes to just sit there and casually just watch the movies. That's fine. That's what makes the fandom of geekdom so awesome. Well, what actually happens is Superman has his fight with Doomsday just like the movie in Batman vs Superman. He dies, and then he is laid to rest, and we have a superstar funeral with really just every single character that has impacted Superman and Clark Kent's life throughout. And of course, well, Clark Kent dies as well. So what we haven't seen so far, because we haven't seen Justice League, is what happens is the body is actually stolen by the Eradicator, and he is put in the Kryptonian regeneration matrix because the Eradicator is obsessed with the House of El and regaining the legacy of Krypton. So he is revived, and then he goes on and to defeat and claim his rightful place of being the real Superman. So the real Superman is back, and that is that. He goes on to marry Lois Lane later on in a star-studded, awesome wedding again. Of course, these two are meant to be together, although they are actually together in the comics now in the DC Rebirth. So, what we actually haven't seen so far is any of the last parts after the funeral. So, the funeral happens, and that is that. And the description of this cap that I said in my previous video is the fact that what happens is that we will be getting most of that. We will be getting the regeneration matrix, but we don't know who actually steals the body, which I highly expect it to actually be Batman. So Batman will actually be the one who steals this and goes off and saves him in some way, shape or form, and he returns and lands in front of good old Alfred. So the question here I'm going to pose here is that how the hell is Clark Kent going to come back? So in the movies, we don't actually have a reveal of everyone thinks that Superman is, you know, just this mystical being. He doesn't have an Earth-based persona, or Clark Kent is just some dude who's just trying to really save the world of journalism. So saving journalism and also, you know, getting with Lois Lane at the same time. I have to say, I really do like the way they've done this in the movies. So the problem is Clark Kent is dead. Superman is dead. So, yes, you can realistically bring a mystic being back from the dead, and no one will really bat an eyelid because he is larger than life already. So when he comes back, he is back for good. So the problem is Clark Kent is perceived as just a human. He is just a reporter. So the problem is, how are you actually going to bring back Clark Kent? Because he can't just turn up and go, "You alright guys? Yeah, what do you want me to do? I've got this story on the return of Superman." Everyone's like, "Hold on a minute, you were dead. I was at your funeral. I cried at your funeral. I had the food at your wake. What the blazes has happened?" So really, we've had the death of Superman, but we haven't had the death of Clark Kent, seemingly. Now the question is, what will happen to Clark Kent? What I would probably expect is that he will reveal that he's been on a huge undercover mission, or an undercover, not a mission, but like an assignment, and he's come back, and luckily he's got Lois Lane there as well at the Daily Planet. She will be able to back up any stories as well about him. Perhaps maybe because she is still mourning him as well. So she also thinks he's dead, which is the problem here with that theory, that he has just been on a secret kind of whole mission and everything like that. So the logical one here is that really what he'll do, he'll come back and he'll have a brand new persona, which is not out of the ordinary. It would make sense, and that's what logic would prevail here. But Superman and Clark Kent, they're one, and they've also always worked at the Daily Planet. So having Lois Lane being in on the whole thing won't really actually work, to be honest, because as we saw in the trailer, she is mourning him, and seemingly the Clark Kent is also dead. So I think that what he'll need to do, like I said, is actually have a brand new persona. He will have to come back and be like, you know, Smark Sment or something like that. In the comics, in the Alan Moore What Happened to the Man of Tomorrow, he did actually have a new persona, and it was quite similar. The kind of, if you shorten the name, it sounded like Jor-El as well. So maybe he will actually have a brand new cover identity. Where will he work? That is the question. So let me know, where would he actually return to work? Would he kind of come up, be a brand new blogger? But the problem is his bioliners and everything, and his face is recognised as well. But then again, he does look like Superman, doesn't he, Clark Kent? So there is that problem where the face, and they can conveniently make him just have another persona or something like that. Interestingly as well, in DC Rebirth, we did have the death of the New 52 Superman until he merged with the post-crisis Superman. We also as well had a new Clark Kent, which turned out to be Mr. Mixer-Plix, that's how we pronounce his name. So there's quite a lot of ideas here. And also another idea is the fact that you could actually just keep Superman or Clark Kent dead. Just keep him dead. Don't have him come back and have a new difficult persona. Simply just have him full-time as Superman, which would be pretty cool as well, and would be leading to Man of Steel 2, pretty awesome. And we don't have to kind of divide our time in the story between him being a normal dude and being Superman. So let me know what you think in the comments. Please drop a like, please subscribe, and I'll see you soon. Goodbye.